Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. Today I have a process video for you using the Felicity Jane Grace Kit. I am almost done with this kit, so I just want to show you that I am putting a line there with my ruler because I needed to figure out where I was going to do some mixed media. And I'm using this mixed media with a faded heart stencil, and I love this stencil. You're going to see it a lot in the coming months. Now the Nuvo mousse that I'm using is called Poppy Pink and it goes perfectly with this Felicity Jane kit. So you'll see that I am just going willy-nilly. It's not being perfect because it is the vintage kind of look. So it doesn't have to be like a perfect square or rectangle or filled in properly because the picture is going to go in the middle of all of this. And look at that, isn't that gorgeous? And then I'm using a white eraser to erase the line. Now I took this flower paper and I'm cutting off about 4 inches and I'm going to put that on the top of my layout, and this is just basil white cardstock, and all of the supplies I'll have listed down below. I'm going to also take a strip of this pink diamond paper and I'm just going to cut a 1/2 inch off so I can have that bordering the flower paper from the white cardstock just to give it a solid break. So after I attach all of this on, I meant to do a crisscross or zigzag stitch between the 4-inch flower the cardstock and the pink diamond border, but I totally forgot to do it. So now I'm going to go ahead and layer on the photo. Now I'm just going through some of the scraps. Now the Grace kit, I did get 2 sets of the paper because I really did love this kit. I'm using the Felicity Jane date stamp and I'm going to put the date on there so I don't forget what date it is, because I do like to date stamp every layout. So now I'm going to go ahead and layer this photo using my ATG gun, and I'm going to put it on this mint paper. Love mint. And then I'm going to cut that down, and that one piece of paper is going to be the complete border for this photo. Then I'm going to use some scraps and layer on as well. I have a star paper that I'm going to use, and thank goodness for repositionable tape because I always have to reposition. Okay, so I'm going to use some other scraps that I have, and I'm using my Caterpillar Pro, which I freaking love, and it cuts amazing. So I'm using this little star paper as a border, and I just want little pieces of the star to show, so I am cutting that using my Tim Holtz scissors to cut a piece of that so that the stars, and it doesn't have to be the complete stars, but just portion of the stars show on the left hand side as well as on top. Now even though the complete star does not show, you can look at that and know that those are stars on that cardstock. Then I'm using this green gingham, that's a scrap, and I'm going to attach that to the bottom, and you'll notice that I'm only putting adhesive onto the middle portion of the layout or this layering piece, and that's because I only want to adhere the bottom or the middle of it so that I can pop up and put some pop dots or the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals on the corners to give it more dimension. So then the last piece I did use was the one with the circles and lines, and I'm checking to see if this if the Nuvo mousse is dried. So now that it is dry, I'm going to go ahead and use my ATG to adhere the flower paper to the top of the photo, of the layout. After I do that, I am going to adhere the pink strip, to right below it. Now the thing with using Nuvo drops or the Nuvo mousse is because it is textured, sometimes the ATG or any roller adhesive may not completely stick onto there. So I always like to use the Tombow Mono multi-adhesive. It's the green and white bottle adhesive to adhere my layout. You're going to see here that I'm going to use the ATG gun, and then I'm going to end up putting Nuvo on there. Now if you look at the paper, if you look at the picture, you'll see that the pink strip is in line with where her hands are positioned so that it makes a T. Now these dimensionals that I'm using are from a long time ago. I don't even know where you get them, but my favorite dimensionals are from Stampin' Up! And I'll have those listed down below. So I'm putting up the corners because I like to add those kinds of dimensions to my kit, to my layout. And now the title of my layout is 5-teen. So I'm using the alphas that came with this kit, and I'm starting from the middle and working my way out. Since there's 4 letters in each of the words, it makes it easy to start from the middle. After I do that, I'm going to start going through the embellishments. I'm also looking through the stamps to see if there's something that I can stamp, and eventually I decide that there isn't anything that I can stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through the embellishments, and I decide to put the date on a tab there. I wonder if I should use this Felicity Jane girl on this layout, but ultimately I decide not to do that. So I'm going to keep going through the embellishments, and I'm going to use one of these tabbies to date stamp my layout. I end up going with the yellow mustard kind of color, and then I'm going to stamp on that. Now for this particular stamp, I use the VersaFine Morning Mist, which is a gray VersaFine ink pad, which has become my favorite because this tab is like paper, not like the glossy paper. So I go ahead and adhere that down to my one of the layers, the star layer, the star paper layer, and I'm going to adhere that down, and it came with sticky, so I can just adhere that. Initially I thought about stapling that, but because it is under the layers, you wouldn't even be able to see the staples, plus there are stitches on there, so I just wanted to leave that dimension. Now I'm going through the puffy stickers, and I'm putting this branch to the top of my photo and to the left of the title. I am going to put this scalloped edge to the bottom of my photo. Initially I thought about putting it to the right, but if you'll notice, it's a T design, so I need to put it to the very bottom of the photo, right under the photo, not to the right. I am going to use a puffy sticker, this bird, because the bird is facing to the left, so I can't put it to the right of my layout because that means that the bird will be looking off the layout. So because I am doing my embellishment cluster on the bottom, I can just put it there and it looks fine. I'm using the word blessed on the bottom right hand portion of my layout, so that gives me 3 embellishment clusters: the top left of my photo, the bottom right of my photo, and on the bottom of the page. Now I'm going through the rest of my embellishments, and I decide to use the chipboard that says everything, and I'm using my Tombow Mono multi-adhesive to adhere that to the top left of my photo. I'm also going to go through and put more chipboard. I'm going to put the chipboard that says love underneath the bird. So I'm going to lift up the puffy sticker of the bird and stick the love right under it so the feet are on that chipboard. I like layering it where everything is connected, and that makes it really cohesive. Then I'm putting this yellow polka dot star right under the word blessed, and there you have it. That is my layout. And there you have it. That is my 5-teen layout using this kit. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video, and I'll see you next time.